This is my audience. We have 7 people and a baby. Hello everybody, and thank you very much for coming. Every day we make decisions of what foods we put into our body. And our body uses these foods to keep us alive and going. What we decide to eat can have a major impact on our overall health. In order to make the right decisions of what we eat, it is important to know what a healthy and balanced diet is. It also helps to know what foods we should eat and how they can what foods can potentially harm us. And lastly, some helpful tips can also aid in our decisions of making a good diet. So what is a healthy diet? Well, first we need to know how many calories to consume each day. Here's a chart. It is based on the age, gender, and activity levels that a person might be. For example, a teenage girl, an active teenage girl, needs to consume about 2,400 calories a day, versus an inactive middle-aged man only needs to consume 2,200 calories a day. So it's important to find which group you belong into. Now the USDA has also provided us with the food pyramid. And this food pyramid shows us our 5 basic food groups and how much of each food group to consume. A healthy diet also consists of picking the adequate amounts of food from each food group and having a variety of each food group. For example, you don't want to just eat for your vegetables green beans every day, because that would not provide you enough nutrients. You want to make sure you pick vegetables and fruits that have a variety of color. Exercise is also another important part of having a healthy diet. Adults need to be physically active for at least 30 minutes 4 to 5 days a week. Children and teenagers need to be active for at least 60 minutes 4 to 5 days a week. Now, we need to know how much of each food group to eat, and we also need to know which foods to avoid from each food group. Now, the first food group are grains. It is important that when we eat grains, which we're supposed to eat 6 ounces of, that at least half of these grains come from whole grains. The grains group provides minerals and B vitamins, which are important to our intestinal and colon health. And the whole grains help provide us with fibers. And fibers are very important to our overall health. And they also help to maintain weight, because when we eat fibers, they help give us a feeling of being full, which keeps us from overeating and therefore keeps us from gaining weight. Another food group, the other food group we need to pay important attention to are vegetables and fruits. The fruits and vegetables provide us with folate, vitamins A and C, potassium, and fiber. Vegetables provide also the same nutrients, but also vitamins K and E and magnesium. Now these nutrients are essential for so many parts of our health. They are essential to the maintenance of skin, bones, teeth, hair, vision, reproduction, liver and blood functioning, as well as nourishment for our brain and nervous system, and the metabolism of fats, carbohydrates, and proteins. So you can see why eating adequate amounts of fruits and vegetables are so important to our overall health. Dairy is the other food group. Dairy provides us with calcium, B12 vitamins, and vitamin D. These nutrients are essential to our bone, eyes, and skin health. The types of foods that we need to be avoiding from the dairy group are milk products that are whole milk, such as cottage cheese, sour cream, and yogurt. The types of foods we need to be choosing instead are low-fat or fat-free dairy products. Protein group provides us with protein, zinc, and iron. These nutrients are important to our body's defense system and also to our muscle health. The types of foods that we should avoid from this food group are ground meat, hot dogs, sausage, etc. because these types of foods give us extra fat and sodium that our body does not need and can harm us instead. The types of foods we should be choosing from the protein group are nuts and legumes, such as beans, because these provide us with a lot of fiber and the essential nutrients that our body needs. Now, our body also needs fat. A lot of us think that we need to stay away from fat, but fat is still essential to our body. The types of foods that provide us with the kind of essential nutrients are flaxseed oil, nuts, olive oils, soybeans, etc. These types of foods provide us with vitamin E, fatty acids, and fatty acids. These help with our brain development, which of course is very important, and also in the anti-aging process. They give us antioxidants, and they can help with preventing wrinkles and all sorts of things that will be beneficial to us. Now, another part that can help us have a healthier diet is just knowing some tips that can make choosing the right decisions easier. One way you can do this is by planning ahead. By planning ahead, I mean like making a menu, making sample menus each day for what you're going to have for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. When you make out these menus ahead of time, knowing which food groups you need to have in each one, you can also base your shopping list according to your menus. So that way when you go shopping, you know which foods you're going to need and choose from those. Now, when you do your shopping, it is very important to read the labels. When you read the labels, you want to make sure you look at the nutrition facts, the ingredients, and the serving size. Now, a lot of us tend to overlook the serving size, and we eat more than what we realize that we are. That's why serving size is very important to look at. Ingredients are also important to look at because when you buy something such as bread, you think you're putting whole grains into your body when you buy something that is labeled wheat bread. But if you look at the first ingredient, it a lot of times says enriched flour, which is not a whole grain. A whole grain is when it says whole wheat flour. So when you're picking a bread, you want to make sure that the first ingredient is a whole wheat bread because whole grains are very important to your health. Another way to help making sure that you are having a healthy diet is to get yourself educated. Now, luckily, we have the internet nowadays, and you can research the internet to find out lots of useful information. But when you are looking up this information, you want to make sure that it's coming from an accredited site. And to make sure of this, make sure that you are getting your information from an accredited site. You want to make sure that the last letters on the website are either .edu or .gov because you know that these are accredited sites. Now, having the knowledge now that you have the knowledge of what a good diet is, make sure you put this knowledge to use because knowledge is power, and when we have the right knowledge, we have the power to make the right decisions for our body. And the right decisions will lead to a better health, more energy, greater levels of self-confidence, and an overall sense of well-being. And it's really amazing how such a simple, everyday decision can have such a positive impact on our overall life. Thank you.